Hey there, it's Carrie here at Get Your Vibe Right, and I'm going to ask you to do a little self-evaluation. Are you the type of person who jumps in when somebody is upset or sad or angry, and you're always trying to make it better? Have you taken on the role in some of your relationships where you have become what I call a soother and a smoother? And that image comes from a session I had with a client of mine who had been in a long-term relationship where she was constantly trying to smooth out the emotional state of her partner. He had a lot of traumas that he hadn't worked through, which made him kind of an explosive personality to be around, very agitated most of the time, and would hold it in until there were these big outbursts of energy and emotion. And she, after almost a decade, had gotten into the habit of feeling like she needed to be smoothing out those wrinkles all the time. And I think often we, especially as women, do this for the people around us, and we see it as a positive thing, and I think to a certain extent it is positive. Of course, we want the people around us to not feel bad. We want them to feel better. We feel somewhat impotent if we don't get in there and try and help them. But when you become a smoother and a soother, you are really just allowing them to get over whatever it was in the moment without addressing the deeper issue. If you are in a relationship with someone, or you, even a friendship, any kind of relationship, and it could be your children, where there are frequent outbursts of anger, agitation, anxiety even, and you're constantly getting in there and like, oh no, it's gonna make it all better. I'm gonna nurture this right. I'm gonna nurture you right back to where you need to be in a good state. You're just enabling them to continue to have that behavior over and over and over, and never go to the deeper issue that's causing that to happen. And this is how we get into those cycles over decades where our partner isn't doing the work. They're not working on themselves. They're not going after those deeper traumas that keep triggering them over and over, because we're jumping in every time and making it better in the moment. And they never get to the point where they think, man, I need to fix this. This is not working for me. I am not getting myself out of this state. I am not getting myself out of this state. Every time we throw them a life ring, and drag them back to shore, the emotional shores of happiness and joy, they forget. They forget what it was like to be out there in the storm and struggle. And they don't look inside and ask themselves how to not get themselves into that situation again. So while I am fully on board with being somebody who lends a listening ear, somebody who holds a space for someone who is in a bit of emotional turmoil or pain, I am not in support of rescuing to the point that you think it's your responsibility to do so. You are taking on the responsibility of making that person feel better. We really can't do that. A person's feelings are unique. Their reaction to a situation is unique to them, and we have no control over that. We can boost them up and buoy them up and make them feel better and bring them back to a better feeling state, but we haven't actually fixed the deeper issue. So ask yourself again, am I the kind of person who's always constantly trying to rescue someone? And if the answer is yes, now I would like you to ask yourself, what is it costing me? What is it costing me to do that? And I bet you'll find you're taking on a lot of that energy from them, first of all, and then you just got to deal with that muck yourself. And it's keeping you from looking inside and getting at some of the deeper issues that maybe you could be healing inside of yourself. by constantly feeling like you're responsible for everybody else's emotional state, you neglect your own. So this is just maybe a little call to action, a little call to pay attention to how you're conducting yourself, and a little bit of letting you off the hook. You do not need to be a smoother and a soother in other people's lives. You do not need to take on responsibility for their emotional state. It is costing you and it is costing them by doing that. Hold a space, allow them to have the experience, but stop rescuing. It's taking too much of your energy and it's not really getting them to where they need to be. Okay? So if you needed to hear this message today, I'm glad that you were able to find it here on YouTube. And please subscribe to my channel. These are just the kinds of things that I talk about here, I think about, and these are also the kinds of things and behaviors that I help people with as a healer, which if you are kind of struggling with this and you're not sure to how to get yourself out of it, like my client, then that's something I can help with, and you'll find that there's a free 20-minute session with me below. You can just click on that and I'm happy to explore that issue and let you know if maybe I'm the person to help you let go of the soothing and smoothing behavior that you've gotten yourself into.